Judges 2, 7, and 10 say this: the people worshiped the Lord throughout Joshua's lifetime and through the lifetime of the elders who outlived Joshua. And they had all seen the Lord's great works and that he had done for Israel. That whole generation was also gathered to their ancestors, and after them another generation rose up who did not know the Lord or the works he had done for Israel. Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is Judges 2, 6 through 3:8, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, sometimes we make terrible judgments in our generation which bleed over to the next generation. This is exactly what happened to Israel after Joshua and those who fought by his side eventually died. There arose another generation that did not follow the practices of the previous generation. Well, I think in some ways we're guilty of not living our lives in such a way that our next generation wants to follow our lead. We tend to be defensive when we sin instead of repentant. We tend to allow our children to make their own decisions without giving them adequate input how to make those decisions. And we do our best to protect our children from the things that may help them in their walk with Christ, because they may initially bring negative consequences into their lives. It's been said that we are one generation from functionally losing the Christian witness that we have in the world. Well, if we don't live consistent lives, how can we expect our children to live and desire to walk in a way that is pleasing to Christ? And it's not necessarily the big things that are causing our children to walk away from their faith. It's the little things that we do that cause them to either grow in their faith or to leave their faith. I remember when I was growing up, my father smoked cigarettes. Yet each time I was around him and he smoked, he told me that I should not smoke. I looked at what he was saying and completely ignored it. If it was all right for him to smoke, why wasn't it all right for me to smoke? And then I smoked for 10 years. We need to live consistently in our walk with Christ. This means two things. The first is that we need to learn about Christ, and then we demonstrate that learning to other children present. They should see us reading the Bible. They should see us worshiping in church. They should see us being repentant when we sin, and they should see us grow in Christ. Secondly, we should learn to encourage them in their walk with Christ. We cannot encourage them if we're telling them to do something that we don't do. We should help them practice their Christianity by having them go on with us to retreats and mission projects. They should see us being believable in public as we are believable in private.